Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. Today, this is actually a summon pool we predicted that we would have. A force summon pool, right? Featuring some of the epics that you need for the Lady Mikage fusion, which I have now done. But this summon pool right here has a few big twists to it, and let's be honest, they're mostly going to be very negative. So first of all, we do have a headline champion, and it is Freya Fateweaver, who is, a brand new champion, part of the Asgard Divide event. Now, remember, Freya is two things about Freya. Number one, she is not an event exclusive champion. It's not like the Monster Hunter champions, where after Monster Hunter event ended, they were gone. Well, I mean, they're in the game, but you can no longer get them. Freya will join the normal shard pool, right? She will be there. Number two, we also know that there's going to be a deck of fate for Freya. Now, considering we're going to talk about the price of this event, this is getting me worried that Freya might come in at like 30 sacreds or something ridiculous. At which point, by the way, if that does happen, let's prepare ourselves right now to say that's not worth it, right? I think if Freya is 20 sacreds, pretty good. I think if it's 30, might be an easy skip, let's be honest. Let me know. What do you think about that? What is your cutoff point for Freya being worth it? But there's going to be a deck of fate for Freya. We know that they've already, I mean, they can always change their plans. In fact, with Monster Hunter, I'm pretty sure they did change their plans. Um, so yeah, it's not set in stone, but it's pretty likely there will be a guaranteed Freya event. But yeah, she's in there as the headline champion. So, I mean, look, the way to look at it is 6% of the time when you get a legendary. 2/3 of the time it will be these, 1/3 of the time it will be Freya. So you're more likely to get Freya than to get any of these other ones. But still, it's only like a 1 in 3 if you do get a legendary, and that's a big if. The other ones in here are a mix. I'd say Harima is really good. In fact, I'd say Harima is probably better than Freya, to be honest. I think Glaikit of the Meltwater is really good as well. I think these are the two best. Yeah, I think they're probably the two best champions in it. Harima is top tier for Arena because of this, and she's really good for Hydra as well because of this defense scaling and being Shadowkin and pairing with Lady Mikage. So Harima is very strong, an Arena MVP. Glaikit of the Meltwater, they're like Duchess too. Basically, he's very like Duchess, the same sort of speed aura. He has an AoE revive. Now, it's fairly weak, but it is an AoE revive. But he brings increased accuracy, increased defense, which is nice. There's very few champions that bring good champions, for like Arena especially, that bring increased defense. For Hydra as well, it can be a little bit limited getting a good increased defense champ in there. We've got like Wixwell and Podrick are good accessible-ish ones from recently. He does bring in that. Increased accuracy is nice. He also brings the increased attack perfect fail. So unlike Duchess, you don't get the block debuffs. You don't get the passive damage reduction, but you're getting more offensive buffs. You're getting the increased accuracy, increased defenses, a mix of offensive and defensive. Yeah, so, and there you go. It's A1 is kind of rubbish. You can freeze. It's pretty meh, to be honest. His passive is good, though. Allies under perfect fail placed by him do 10% more damage. Now, you put him in a 9-piece protection set, it becomes kind of bonkers because he's putting out 4 buffs. Yeah, with Terminator Phil as well. I think he's very very like a Duchess. Yeah, sort of a twist on Duchess, a different take. I think he's more better for Hydra, actually. I do think he's better for Hydra. He's more tailored towards a 9-piece protection set, and he could be very good. I'd actually quite like a Glaikit, to be honest. The other champions in here are all good, but not top tier. Like Withier's great. Kargar's a lot of healing. Python's great. Bad Elf, still solid enough. You can solo some dungeons. Staltus and Candrafon are both good damage dealers for Arena, but not top tier. So you've got a good mix of legendaries. So it's pretty good on those. But of course, Freya is the one that you're most likely to get. I feel like if you're planning to go for the Deck of Fate, this becomes quite underwhelming, to be honest. It becomes quite underwhelming. And you might well be wishing that, let's be real, that Harima was the headline champion instead. So yeah, there you go. I'd say Harima is probably the best Force champion in the game. So like non-mythical. So yeah, for the epics. Now in here we do have several of the epics you need for Lady Mikage. Lady Quillen, Elisania is in there. Firegun Isbale. Now why this is so rough This is really rough because the cost for this summon pool is really high. It costs more summons now, way more. And whereas before you could do like a Sand Devil tournament or a Dungeon Divers or something and get one free pull, now in Dungeon Divers, you got to do 3.350 points. You only get 20. You get half. You get half of a summon pool. Let's check out the event calendar. Okay, there's going to be a Sand Devil turn attack as well starting today. Okay, let's see. I don't know if that's up yet. Let me see. Is that up yet? If it is, okay, so that's up. Let's take a look. You're gonna half. That is absolutely brutal, right? You do not get any dungeon diver points from doing Sand Devil. 0. It's a dungeon. You don't get dungeon divers though. What would give you that ludicrous idea? Crazy. So you would have to. That's a huge, huge, huge energy sink. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, look, if you are stuck for one of these epics for Lady Mikage, she is so unbelievably good. It might be worth just spending a bunch of energy just for the off chance, but might like you got to get. You know, more likely you will get an epic, but then it's got to be that particular one. You're looking at a like what, roughly 5% chance or less. Like it's a really low chance. You're gonna put in a lot of energy, a lot of grinding, a lot of effort for a tiny chance to get one of these epics if you need one of them. It honestly feels shit. Let's be real. It feels like you're doing twice as much work for half the reward. Um, yeah, it might still be worth doing though. With the Alicenia thing, I am very, 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 very glad. Because I was considering wailing out on the 4 summon pool. I am very, very, very glad I went for the progressive chance event for Alicenia instead. I think that's the biggest win. I did a video yesterday on where I get my legendary, well, just the champions I use progressive chances, 10x events, even though I've pulled in several of them, none of them, apart from one, only one, a Yumiko one, actually worked out. None of the others have given me anything particularly useful, or I think I got a Draco Morph off a 10x before, but I don't really use them anymore. But the epics from progressive chance events can actually be quite good. It's a good way to get epics. That was brilliant for Alicenia. This is rough though. I mean, you could always skip this. I mean, you're not really skipping much. Let's be real, and hope that one of these epics from Mikage comes back in the future in a summon event. But who the heck knows? Like, I mean, Alicenia literally didn't show up in anything for months. They keep putting like Delaja on like 10 times in a row. Alicenia, so there's no logic. You know, Plarium is not equally distributing the champions that you need for Mikage in an easily accessible way. It seems almost entirely random how they're going to distribute them. So there's no luck there. The other epics in here, honestly, they are, to be fair, very good epics. Like all of these are quite usable. Like let's be real, the Mikage ones are probably the worst ones. The Mikage ones aren't great, but they're for Mikage. But Mistrider Dahi is brilliant for lots of Curse City. Rector Drath is amazing almost everywhere. Neldor is great for Curse City and for Fire Knight Hard. Mordecai, great AoE burner. Husk is good. Geomancer, of course. Yeah, you've got so many solid epics in here. It's a good epic pool. It's actually a decent legendary pool, but I don't know. It's not absolutely bonkers, and especially when I consider the price, 40 prisms now. Like, if you want to buy a single pull on this, it's now really expensive. It's now $10. $10 for a single pull. It's equivalent really to pulling a sacred. Now, of course, as we know, there is now a mercy system, which is lovely, but the mercy system refreshes after every summon pool, so you are starting every summon pool from 0, and you have to go 20 summons without a legendary to start getting stacking chance. To start. In fact, let's work it out right now. If you do 20 summons, and if each one is costing you $100, you have, sorry, $10. $10 per summon. $10. And you have to do 20 with no legendary. You have to spend $200. You have to spend $200 to even start getting this mercy time. What's the point? Like, what? Genuinely, what's the point in it? You know, the thing is, with these shards, like, it's probably something similar. With sacred shards, it's relatively similar in voids and ancient. Like, they are that far in terms of money, but the difference is that you get a lot of these shards for free, and the mercy carries over between events. So, how much does it cost to hit Ancient Mercy? Well, actually, really, it doesn't cost anything because you can do it for free over time. You can't do that with Summon Pool. There's no doing it for free over time. There's spend $200 right now to hit Mercy or don't. And you'd be quite unlucky as well. You would be quite unlucky to go to Mercy. You're much more likely to get a legendary before that than to go all the way to Mercy. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know what it is. Maybe like a 20% or less chance to go that far without a legendary. Be pretty unlikely, but yeah, so there we are. That's the summon pool. I think this is kind of rubbish. I will probably skip Dungeon Divers. I'll skip. We also got the Fusion Warm-Up event is live as well, which is summoning. Again, is this even worth doing? Pull 80 green shards for one blue shard. It's kind of pants. Pull 4 blue shards to get 1 back. I don't know. You get a little bit of energy. It's okay, but fusion warm-ups have been kind of shit, honestly, recently as well. I think I'm just gonna happily skip this Dungeon Divers, honestly. Like, I might pick up some of it incidentally, but I think I will happily skip that and not bother. I will just do other stuff. I will probably do the Sand Devil tournament, just because Sand Devil, I still need to grind lots of Sand Devil. And yeah, although this is very expensive, I'm going to be grinding Sand Devil to upgrade my gear anyway, so it's not too huge of a deal. And I'm working on missions at the moment. That's sort of my focus right now, is actually getting through some of these missions. Is sort of my plan, where I've got to do some Sand Devil. Anyway, that's my goal, is these missions. I am really not too arsed about it. I'll just carry 20 prism things into the next summon pool. And it might be rubbish, but hey, it might not. The next summon pool might be one for Odin, right? We know there will be a summon pool for Odin. It might be. I'm going to guess there's going to be 2 until Odin. There'll probably be a shit one after this to destroy anyone who, like me, is going to get like 20 and carry 20 over into the next one. It'll probably be a bad summon pool. Maybe with a new faction Unity, actually. Maybe. And then we might have one for Odin after that, after the Thor fusion, I'm guessing. But yeah, I think this is kind of a terrible event. Honestly, looking at all this stuff feels like it's really sort of warm-up waiting. I feel like it's fairly low value bait. All these sort of events are fairly low value bait. The only questionable thing is Odin, for people going for Odin. For me, it's kind of just do Siege, right? Siege is up tomorrow. Looking forward to some Siege. Got my defenses in. Do some Siege tomorrow, and yeah, then do the Thor fusion when that happens. So yeah, look, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully that's some help to you. Yeah, it's kind of pants. I feel so bad. Because I know there are a few people. I know I've seen people in the comments saying, I'm waiting for Firegun or Lady Quillen or Elisania. I am waiting for them. And it is so heartbreaking to see them show up in a summon pool where you might normally be like, oh, you could spend like, if you wanted to, you could spend like 20, 30 bucks, 50 bucks and have a decent chance to get them. But this one, you can spend that and have half the chances. It's rough. Rough. Sorry, guys. See y'all next time. Goodbye.